So I shared this message from my experience as national and international queen with a couple of pageant hopefuls recently. And I thought you or someone you know might find it useful as well. Dear pageant queens, kings, and models, warm greetings from me to you. My name is Ebele Enemchukwu, CEO of Wabi. So today I'll be sharing a couple of things I believe will be beneficial to you all in your journey towards becoming kings, queens, models, and not just becoming, but remaining relevant and staying successful throughout your period of reign and beyond. I won the title Mrs. Nigeria United Nations in May of 2015, and I represented Nigeria on the world stage in Kingston, Jamaica, where I won the Mrs. Tourism United Nations title. Between that time and now, it has always given me pleasure to see other queens and kings emerge, wholesome queens and kings, if I must add. And it doesn't just happen. You have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. It's on the basis of that I would like to ask you all seated right now this question. Why are you here today? Why have you decided? Why have you made up your mind to go on this path? Why? Fame? Popularity? Gracing papers? What exactly is the reason? What is the core behind your reason for wanting to become a queen, a king, or a model? If you're able to answer that question, then you've taken a step in the right direction towards the sustainability of your dream. It's great to dream, but what's more important is seeing that dream come true and then staying the path, staying the course for the entire journey. So answer that question. I'm going to liken it to the story of a lady who marries a man for his money, for example. If the reason for going into that marriage or relationship is for the money, God forbid, but if anything ever happens along the way and that money is not there in constant supply, what do you think will happen? Cracks will begin to form. Why? Because your reason, the core of that relationship was hinged on something which now doesn't exist anymore. Which is what brings me to that same question. Why are you going into this? If your reason for going in is because you have a voice and you want that voice to be heard, to reverberate around the entire world, you want to make an impact, you want to stand for something, then yes, you're on the right path. Okay? Because all of the fame, the glory, just may not come as you want it, or just may not stand the test of time, but what will stand the test of time is your voice, your impact, your intention. That will always be a solid core for the dream you are currently pursuing. So think it through and be sure what it is you want to do. Remember, when the vision is clear, decisions become easier. So be sure and be clear on what it is you really want to do. Okay? It takes me to my second question for you. Throughout the period of the lockdown, I mean, we've had 2, 3, 4 months, things are beginning to settle. But even as it is, during the period of lockdown, what consumed your time the most? Did this dream just happen overnight? Is that when you started having this dream or nursing this intention? Was it longer before now? So during that period, what exactly were you doing towards taking you a step or many steps towards the actualization of your dream? What were you doing? TV? Instagram? What exactly? Now, don't get me wrong. TV, Instagram, on other social media platforms are great. But the question is, what are you doing on them? Are you using your time productively? How good is your catwalk? Have you practiced? Have you watched videos of past national and international pageants? Have you researched frequently asked pageant questions? Have you researched frequently asked on-stage questions? Those are questions that should come to mind right now. Those are questions I would like for you to answer. If you think you're not comfortable with your current size, did you enroll in any gym? Okay, the gyms were off, yes. But what were you doing in that period to get you to the comfortable size and feel that you desire? Nothing? Have you taken interest in the developments around COVID-19, not just nationally, but across the globe? Do you have some figures? Do you even know what COVID represents? Those are questions that should really come to mind, because guess what? When all this settles, trust me, for a long time to come, pageant questions, especially on-stage questions, will revolve on coronavirus and things associated with it. So stay informed. This is a way of saying, wake up, do something or things that get you closer to your dream. Who are you following on Instagram? And what are you doing while following those people? There's this saying that it's good to know where you're going, right? But what is better is knowing someone or learning from someone who has been where you are going. But guess what is best? Being accompanied on that journey by somebody who has been there. So it cuts your chances of making errors by way more than half, and then it promotes and enhances how quickly you attain that dream or you get to that destination. So those are things you want to pay attention to at a time like this. All right? It then brings me to a couple of things I would like for you to bear in mind on this journey. You are a brand. Whether you know it now or not, you are a brand. And a brand is a promise that must be delivered every time. A brand must have an identity. So who are you? What do you want to be associated with? When your brand, when that name is mentioned, speaking of your name or the brand you carry, the sash you have across your chest or around your neck for the men, or the crown you have on your head, what message are you carrying? Now leave that of the organizers. You, your own name, you are a brand, which is where life after your reign would also come in. What identity are you building? Whether or not you know it, the internet never forgets. So it's not a question of saying, when we get to that bridge, we cross it. You're at the bridge already. The time is now. What kind of messages are you putting out on social media? The internet never forgets. I'm going to say it again. What photos are you putting out? What comments are you leaving? What causes are you supporting? What's that message? What are you doing right now? Think it through. It's the same thing I say to people who probably ask me things like, wow, how have you been able to keep it all together after 3 children? And amongst several other reasons I provide, I go ahead to say, you know what? For the single ladies, of course, if you want to make it easier to snap back to your pre-pregnancy form, then get active now. It would help you. So it brings me back to the point I was making. Now is when you should pay more attention. If you've done it wrong in the past, don't beat yourself up. The best time to have started getting it right was years ago, but the next best time is now. So don't worry too much, but pay attention to whatever you're doing, both physically and online. It's a digital world as it is. It then takes me to the issue of value. Value is critical for your success during your reign and post-reign. It's what will keep you relevant beyond your crown and your sash. By value, I mean, I want your mindset to be that of what can I give as opposed to what can I get. There's already a stereotype, especially for beauty queens. There's not so much up there. They're all about physical beauty. When you write proposals, when you go on courtesy visits, when you want to approach somebody who might be able to support your cause, sometimes even without them thinking in that direction, they're already thinking, I don't have money to give these people though. Or what does she really want? What do they really want? Courtesy visit for what? It's a stereotype. But guess what? You and I are here to change that narrative. To always say, give us a chance to speak with you. We are bringing something to the table. We are beautiful, not just on the outside, but on the inside. Think value. And when you get access, guys, do not abuse it. That's a major challenge as of today. People abuse access. There's this Igbo saying, which I'll say in English, of course, when a child washes his hands or her hands very well, you can dine with elders. What does that mean? You've been given a place at the table. Use it well. Let your life, let what you do be a reflection of the fact that you consider it a privilege and not a right. So always think of what you can give with your voice, with your talent, with your contribution, as opposed to what you can get. I keep saying to people, stop the whole idea of always blaming the organizers.
The organizer, they didn't give me money. They didn't give me car. They didn't.
Now, organizers, if you make a promise, you have to keep it. But that's a story for a different day. But dear royalty, dear pageant kings and queens, dear models, if a promise has been made you and it wasn't fulfilled, right? That's an entirely different story. But I'm saying your mindset should be that of, I'm looking beyond what I'm going to be getting from this platform. Because what does the platform do for you? My name is Ebele Enemchukwu. The weight that my introduction as national and international queen would carry would be more than the weight of Ebele Enemchukwu. So when you have that extra audience, what do you do with it? Provide value. Whether or not we know it, the public is sort of drawn to people with any form, some sort of celebrity status. That happens to you as queen. That happens to you as king. That happens to you when you grace billboards. You become famous. But what do you do with that fame? Everything doesn't have to translate in Naira and Kobo immediately. There's such a thing as delayed gratification. Relax. Your time will come. Right? Easy does it. You will get there. Don't get pressured by what you see on social media. And as I keep telling people, not 80%, if not more, of the things you see on social media are the pretty parts. I conduct soft skills trainings. When I conduct those trainings, I hear people say, oh, wow, that was wonderful. This was this, this was that. It appears so effortless because that's the easy part. The difficult part was the sleepless night. The difficult part was the research I had to do. The difficult part was putting up an amazing PowerPoint presentation that would wow anybody. That was the difficult part. Ask Usain Bolt, when he does his training, it's almost like he's going to lose his life. It's tough. But what happens when he takes the tracks? He kills it. Preparation. Prepare. The opportunity will come. Don't get pressured by social media. Use social media because there are fantastic things that go on there or that you can achieve from social media in both personal, business life, what have you. But use your time productively. Preparation, when you are prepared by the things you do now, right? Towards achieving that dream. When you are prepared, believe it. I'll never take away the God factor. Always commend all your plans into the hands of God, right? When you are prepared, when you are intentional, when you are deliberate about what you're doing, the opportunity will come. But you've got to keep your eyes open for the opportunity. And the spirit of discernment, by the grace of God, will help you identify those opportunities. And when those opportunities meet your level of preparedness, what happens is what the world will call luck. Ah, she got lucky. Ah, he was lucky. Chai, this person is so lucky. No, darling, it's not luck. It was simply your hard work that has paid off. So my message for you today is be prepared, keep your head up, keep that head straight, stay on your lane, be in competition with yourself. The least level of traffic jam is when you are on your lane. If you keep stoning every single dog that barks at you, you will never get to your destination. And even if you do, not in good time. So relax, your time will come. Keep working, It's not enough to say, I want to. Do something every day that gets you closer to that dream. And if you believe someone somewhere may find this video useful, or if you have found it useful in not just on your path as a beauty queen, but life generally, do not forget to give it a huge thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already. And remember, you are somebody's role model. You don't even have to know it. But the question is, are you that man, are you that woman that a mother or father would look at and say, I hope my daughter, I hope my son turns out this way. In all you do not forget, like Big Brother, someone is always watching. So be great. Be great.